Welcome back. Let's put this in the ether. All right. What I want to talk about is that, there's a reason why guys are checking out in the dating market, right? I mean, I want everybody to be happy. Men, women, I want them to coexist happily. The thing is, they've been manipulated by what's going on in the world right now, what's going on in the media, right? Women are more inclined to resonate with guys. Guys are less um, approaching women day to day. Guys are checking out of the dating market, right? And then things are falling apart. People are not dating. People are not communicating. People are not getting together, right? And I mean, I don't want to see that. I want people to live in harmony. We are different. There are differences between men and women. People need to understand there are differences and start to realize that we are not the same and all that stuff, right? But me being a guy, I understand why some guys are checking of out of the dating market and why women need to understand why men are checking out, right? We have to take a practical approach in things, into solving things in our lives. If we don't take a practical approach, we will never solve anything. If we constantly bicker at each other and not listen to each other, nothing cannot be solved, right? There's something has to change, right? Something has to change, all right? There's a reason why men are finding women are unappealing right now, right? I'm just giving out from my perspective as a man. I can always talk about as a man. I cannot talk as a woman, but I can say things as a man. But I can't talk on the woman's behalf because I have to say things that allow women to understand where men are coming from. Women, we're not the reason why there are men contests out there because men feel like they're being taken advantage of, right? And if you don't recognize the reason why men feel like this, it's only going to hurt you more than it hurt us, all right? It's only going to hurt the balance of civilizations, all right? Because you have to understand that there are reasons why men are checking out. The world is totally against men. That's how men feel. Because due to what's going on in the world, what's going on in society, what's going on in law, what's going on in in the court system, it's like being man. I mean, I'm not saying being a woman is not easier than it is being a man, or I'm not saying there's any easier being a woman, right? I know you have your strengths. I know you have your challenges, but I'm speaking from a man point of view to give you a sense, right? If you are a woman, listen to my channel, but this which I find a surprise because my channel is mainly geared towards men. This is a men channel, but if men, you can listen to this too. I'm giving my perspective. You could agree or disagree, men. So you could agree or disagree. This is the reason why men are checking out the dating force, right? Men are checking out the dating force because they feel like they're being unappreciated, right? They feel like being used and abused. They feel like they're being made into a buffoon. Because when you look throughout the media, society, from movies, guys are always the buffoon. Girls are always saving the day. I mean, I'm not lying, right? When you look at the way things are going on right now, you see movies they're propping up men. I mean, propping up women and pushing down the men, right? I'm not saying that men should be propped up more than women. I'm not saying nothing of that. I'm just saying that there's an unevenness, there's an unbalance in society right now, right? They try to put women in a prominent place that we know they're not supposed to be in, right? I'm not trying to hate on women, but because of that, men feel like they're being unappreciated, right? They feel like that. They feel like that. Oh, all men are deadbeats. All men are this, that. All men are violent. All men are toxic masculinity. So basically, being a man is toxic just for being a man. And not only that, men, right? Not all men fit into the same box. Men fit into different boxes, right? There are men who's very that is an extrovert, and there's a man that's an introvert. There are men that like to talk to people. There are men that don't like to talk to people. There are men that's one percenters. There are men that's alpha male. There's one that's a scout. There's all these type of men, right? You just can't group all men together and call men a toxic masculinity, right? Because of that, it feel like the world is generalizing men, saying that we're terrible, right? When there are great men out there who try to do their best, try to help people, right? try help people, and try make it in life. Because life is hard, whether you're female or man, right? I'm not saying life is easy. It's hard. Which we're on the same game. We're on the same game. Try to make a living, right? In this dog eat dog world out there, right? But men are just sick and tired, right? We men are slowly awakening up. We are seeing that the law is not set up for us. It's totally unbalanced. It's totally biased against men, right? Men put in a tough positions where they have to provide. They have a lot of things to live up to. There's a lot of statistics that they're not sharing about men that they hide, right? Like men, like the men's suicide rate, the men's grape rate, right? Men get grape as well as much as women do in a penitentiary system. People are not talking about that, right? Men are offering themselves as well. Men are suffering the most when it comes to divorces, right? That's primarily one of the reasons men are being used and not appreciated. And some of them men are being ignored. They're not giving any chances, right? Women are not giving men any chances, right? They avoid these men and not give men any benefit of the doubt, right? They're not giving the opportunity. There's less opportunity for men out there, right? For example, when a man and a woman, right, apply for the same position at a company, right? Usually the woman will obviously or most likely get the job over the man, right? Most likely they apply for the same positions in a corporate office, right? That's some of the disadvantage or some of the example I could say about men, right? The company or more favorite for women than they are to hire men, right? This diversity thingy, which is totally unfair. People should be hired based on their qualifications, right? Not based on their sex, gender, race, and whatnot, right? So this is what some of the example I'm talking about when men feel like they're not being appreciated, not given the opportunity as everybody else, not not favor in society, right? Men do a lot of hard work. Men sometimes people just ignore it because this men do all the hard work and people just ignore all the hard effort that we put into society. Like men are the guy who usually go up to the power line, connect the powers, right? Fix the road, right? Fix the road, build the houses, build the infrastructure, and suddenly that they disregard us and say men is unimportant, right? Make fun of men, right? Because of the movie. Clearly a narrative being driven in society right now. Try to put men down, saying that we're violent. Most men are not violent, right? Most men, they try to get out of an altercation as much as possible because men understand the consequences and repercussion when we get into an altercation. All we want to do is go home in peace, right? But there are men out there who giving other men a bad name. Those are the simps that we're talking about, right? That don't understand how to behave in public. Those are the simps. Those are the real men that need to be taken care of, right? Those simps could be categorized as the criminals, right? As the mentally ill, as the weak man, as the politician. Those are the simps. Those are not real men, right? Those are not real men. I'm vouching for the real men out there, the men who work, never complain, go to work, and just need a chance, right? There are men out there who want to be in relationships, but they see that it's not worth it to them. They're checking out of the dating market. Women are not being women at all. Women are being proper to be masculine men, right? Guys don't want that. Guys are not seeking those type of women, right? Just like dating themselves. Like, why would I want to date a woman like that who have the same characteristics as myself? We want a feminine woman, right? That doesn't have a high body count, that doesn't been ran through, right? By a lot of men. These are some of the attributes men do not want, right? And for some reasons, a lot of women out there find it hard to understand that. It's so easy. It's common sense. It's so easy. Like, I mentioned this a lot of times. It's like buying a used car, a new car. Like, who want a used car when you get a brand new car if you were paying in cash, right? And for some reason, it just seemed to stick in their head, right? Well, I'm not saying this to disparage anyone or any woman. I'm saying this for people to understand, right? If you just would have listened, right? Men are willing to compromise. Men are willing to listen. Men are willing to put things away, right? Put things aside. But at a certain point, when push comes to shove, we can only be pushed for so long that we just either we gonna push back or we just gonna check out of society. And a lot of men are doing right there right now. The upside about social media is that it's spreading a lot of information that men aren't getting prior to social media. Prior to social media, all these messages going on right now, it wasn't widely distributed. So men are still were still being taken advantage of, right? Prior to the advent of social media. But as soon as social media comes out, right, and information are more efficient of spreading out, men start to look for other community that share the same kind of interests that they're going through. Then all these men start to understand that the system is not for us. It's not because we have a bigger consensus now. Before, it's hard to get through a lot of because communication was still stagnant, right? We're subjected to slow connections, slow mail, right? Only confined to a certain community like a bowling group or something like that, or a baseball group, right? But now our reach are more broad out. We could spread our message out to a broader men audience out there, right? That's why there are men that start waking up. They realize, oh man, I'm not the only one that's going through this. Other people's going through this too. Other men is going through this too. Oh wait, there's a similarity. Okay, this is true. I'm not the only one to think like this about how the world works, right? And because of that, they're understanding that the world is not what it seemed to be. We're living a mass illusion, a delusion, right? Which the women are inheriting, right? That these channels are here to project or to show how delusional the world can be, right? And men are slowly understanding this and they're just checking out. There's no hope. They feel like there's a despondency, right? And I guess some men feel disdain for them or feel some kind of hopelessness. That's why they don't want to participate in all this stuff right now. They're checking out of the dating market. And this is not a good deal for women. It's only gonna backfire on women. Now women can't even find a mate, they can't find a provider, they can't find all these stuff, they can't start because this is very troubling because women what they really want is that they want a family. Most women out there they want to start a family because it's within women's nature to be nurturing a baby, a husband, to take care of things. That's what most women don't want to admit it, right? They do not want to admit it. But you are programmed to be nurturing, right? To be caring, to be nice, right? To be, taking care of things. Because men can't, that in a normal household, women run the house, right? They get the clothes clean, to cook the dinner, to put everybody on the schedule, to go to work, to go to school on time. So everything will be on the clock. Everybody will be tight. So nothing won't mess up. Now take that element out. If the role switches, it's gonna be havoc, right? It's gonna be havoc. Everything's not gonna go right because men don't have the same kind of caring aspect as a wife, right? Wife that they're more emotional attachment between son, mothers, and all that stuff, and the husband. They're the emotional backbone of a family. That's what it is, right? And the men need the emotional support of the wife. When men usually get the emotional support from his mother. Now his mother's not there. Now who did he get it from now? He get it from his wife, and that's what women are lacking of right now. They usually blame the husband, not listening to the husband's side. They're more demanding, right? Not understanding that in a relationship there's a compromising, right? You have to compromise things. If you love somebody, there's sacrifice that need to be made. There's compromises. Love is just only about lust, right? That's what people are misconceptioning. Love is not just only about lust. Love is sacrifices and compromises you have to make for a person, right? Love is when you actually want to die for that person. That's real love. Love is not making love, being lovey-dovey, kissing, those are lust and affection. At some point, those fade away, right? Affection, right? Those honeymoon stages, those fade away, right? But if you're really in love with a person, you will stick out. You will be with them regardless of your mood, right? You can hate a person that you love them, right? You can hate a person. Love is so strong. Love is so strong. I'm talking about real love here. Real love is so strong. You can hate the person so much that you will not leave them. That's real love. So if you decide to divorce a man, that's not real love. You were never in love in the first place, right? It's a fake love. It's an illegitimate love, right? But I digress. This video is not about love. It's about why men is checking out. Right? And what I said, the stuff that I just said, I mentioned, these are some of the things that I'm talking about. Why men are checking out. They don't feel appreciated. In a nutshell, basically. In a nutshell, the whole video is, to sum it up, men don't feel appreciated. That's why they're checking out of the dating market. They feel betrayed. They feel like there's nothing, no one's on their side, right? But I don't know. That's what I want to get out of this. But let me know if you agree. Put in your comments down below. Am I right or I'm not right? Am I missing something out? But yeah, I would like to know that. On that note, guys, like, share, subscribe. If you like this channel, like the video. If you want to support the channel, subscribe. On that note, guys, peace and blessings.